26-point lead as we start this third quarter. Stephen Curry leads all scorers with, or leads the Warriors, I should say, with 19. Booker leads all scorers with 21. And Bradley Beal able to run that one down. Beal with 5 first half points as Green stands up tall against Knicks point. Golden State lead. We're just on the way of this third quarter. Ryan Anderson with Greg Anthony and Lauren Jabara. As Majewski whips it around, and Curry in the corner, automatic. Stephen Curry with 22 now, and he is 3 three-pointers away from 300 this year. As O'Neal misfires, and that is going to be goal. Anybody move the number like that?
I've not seen a line move that much.
Majewski gives it up. Curry drives it, and wow, the little finger roll on the teardrop.
They'll just make it look easy.
Ryan Dunn misses in the corner. Moody. Oh, Moody powers one down. Very little resistance. Say the Suns don't watch out. If they don't step up a little bit on defense, I mean, they got a chance to get beat by 40.
Yeah, I think even if they step it up, and if they're also struggling to score.
It's been that kind of year for the Suns, and they are, even though they're not mathematically eliminated, they are eagerly awaiting the end of the season. That'll be a kickball.
Make him their point of attack defender in that starting unit. He's going to get the assignment of the best perimeter player. Embrace that challenge and really found a nice niche for himself in this rotation.
Nick Richards with a mid-range jumper. Warriors keeping a close eye on that scoreboard. Minnesota lost to Milwaukee today at Fiserv Forum. How about the Bucks? Dropped 40 points in the fourth quarter. They outscored Minnesota 40-13, and the Wolves lost in Memphis in another key game. To start the day, they were one of the teams locked up with 32 losses in that very congested Western Conference. O'Neal missed it with the left hand. Right now it's Minnesota, Memphis, Clippers, Warriors. Those are the 4 teams that all started at 46 and 32. Spots 5 through 8 kind of up for grabs. That means you'll have, as Butler hits a turnaround, that means you're going to have 2 teams of that group that will make it into the...
That'll be playing each other.
There still is the possibility to bump up to the 3-4 position, depending on what happens. And obviously the Nuggets are trying to put some pieces back together today after they made changes. As Butler drives it, dunks it, is fouled. And this is turning
playing tonight, so we don't know how that one's going to turn out, but quarter. Well, I tell you, that first round, even those playing games,
they're going to be great.
That's why you want to avoid it, because as you know all too well, anybody's capable of being beaten one time.
Draymond gets a steal. Majewski, Curry with the pass fake and missed the layup. Memphis beat Charlotte tonight, by the way. So they're one of the teams hanging in there. And of course, they just had a coaching change as well. Taylor Jenkins let go, 9 games remaining in the season. And then the Denver Nuggets beer. And Michael Malone ousted with 4 games left in the season.
And Calvin Booth. Like they cleaned from that. We'll be hearing over the next several days. And that one's going to be interesting, too, to see what happens if Bradley Beal able to get a boost. Big picture, right? Because that team right now has really been struggling.
See how Steve Kerr works a rotation here the rest of this game. They've got a game tomorrow night. They play San Antonio back at Chase Center, San Francisco. Warriors will be back home tomorrow, and their finishing schedule is pretty favorable. They've got the Spurs tomorrow. They go to Portland, and then the one team that has given them fits this year, the LA Clippers, on Sunday to finish the season. As Allen bumps Buddy Hield.
And that game could be really important.
And, you know, If you don't want to be in that play-in scenario, finish inside the top 6, and then you get the bye to the best of 7 in the first round. But yeah, it's got that one-and-done feel to it. The winner go home vibe early. Devin Booker misses the 3. Offensive rebound is Bradley Beal. And Curry with a rebound. Jonathan Kuminga, a burst, and Allen pushes him down. It's a foul first, no shot, says Danielle Scott.
And that was a level of frustration rise. You talked about it, they've already on a 5-game losing streak. They do get a technical foul.
Jonathan Kuminga. Good to see him back and healthy. Kuminga, now he becomes a major weapon off that bench, and all of a sudden, as I mentioned, Golden State's got some depth to their roster now. They were playing so many different combinations, different starting lineups. Steve Kerr talked to us about that before the game. He said, you know, the trade kind of thinned our rotations, and we could get a little more disciplined on what the actual rotation, the 8, sometimes 9-man rotation is going to be.
And the fact that all these guys now in that rotation have a real understanding of their role, what's going to be expected of them, and how they have to play with this group.
And Lauren Jabara, all those concerns about some of the holes in the small lineup, it's been anything but. That's been brilliant for Steve Kerr. They're 14-1, that particular starting 5.
It really has been. I actually said, he said it's all about keeping your defensive shell in attack. If you have guys driving, getting to the rim every time, it's really hard to rebound. But if you're good defensively, like our group has been, and you keep the ball in front of you, it makes rebound opportunities so much easier. Then once we get those, we're faster, we can get out and run, push the tempo. He said, I think the lineup's been really great for us. And then Brandon Pajemski also said, it starts with our IQ. He said that group of 5 is our smartest players. Understanding the floor is supposed to look like a game of chess, and we've done a really good job creating that chemistry. We need to continue that moving forward the regular season.
It's a fascinating study. Thanks, Lauren. I mean, this is a starting 5 that is causing some havoc around the league, and they're tough to beat. The Houston Rockets, the first team that's beat that particular group.
Yeah, and to Draymond's point, and Lauren described it beautifully, what happens is that shell, when you force the defense to be compromised, that's what puts you in rotation. And so if I don't have to get in rotation, it allows you to keep bodies on bodies.
And Looney inside. Misses that layup on Iguodaro. Warriors trying to advance to 47-32, and you can tell they are playing with a fervor here in the third, even with a big lead, to try to put this game away here, GA.
Yeah, they know they play tomorrow, and if you got a chance to not allow Phoenix to have any hope of coming back and being able to rest Steph and Jimmy, but it's close.
Where's Don Meredith when you need him? I know you go back far enough to know that.
You did remind me of the good old days.
Turn out the lights. Lord is over. Don Meredith used to sing that on Monday Night Football back in the days. Grayson Allen hits a 3-pointer. Controls here with Kuminga. And he'll fire up a 3. Pajemski missed it. Kuminga's there for the offensive rebound. Look at the ground that Kuminga just covered to get that offensive board and put back.
That's the thing, the element he gives them that you don't get out of that starting 5 is he is a next level athlete that can win possessions for you.
Pajemski. And the lefty can't hit it. Guy Santos is there. These rebounds are coming easy for the Warriors. And Pajemski reigns in another 3-pointer. It's been like that.
Yo, it came up late. I love you, buddy. I love you.
So I heard Greg Popovich do that with Tim Duncan so many times. Steve Kerr would have probably been on the receiving end of that from Greg Popovich, and just reminding Buddy Hield to look for Steve Kerr and to look for Stephen Curry. I think that was after that. Buddy Hield took a corner 3 early in the shot clock. What I would say about Greg Popovich is that he didn't have the laugh and the hug at the end.
No.
He was, let me introduce you to Tim Duncan. He's the greatest player in the world. Passing the blank.
But then he'd come back later and give you a hug.
Yeah,
he was,
of course.
Pop was of that tough love school.
Pat Spencer getting some minutes here in the fourth.
The best to ever do it.
Coming back from a stroke, and here he's doing well. And we're thinking of you, Pop, as always, and a lot of Pop influence all over the NBA, especially in this game. Of course, Mike Budenholzer went from the video room to the assistant coach's bench, and Steve Kerr was still playing in those days as Mason Plumlee able to put that.
Mike talking about Mike was the video coordinator, if I'm not mistaken, initially.
Had 19 years as an assistant. Massacre.
You know how I feel about San Antonio. I'm of the Charles Barkley school when it comes to San Antonio.
Oh, you were on a team you guys had too. I thought that was a championship team, which you never know when you get to the playoffs. As Brian Dunn hits a three-pointer. Floor here. Dunn's the only starter. Iguodala, Martin, Jones, and Plumlee. And then the Warriors have Kuminga and Buddy Hield with Santos, Jackson Davis, and Spencer. And Iguodala able to put it in. They've just got to figure out a way to get around all the salary that's owed, and because of their high salary and where they are, they're limited somewhat in what they can do. So how they rebuild it is a major question. We remind you that the NBA on TNT tonight from Phoenix. They could have potential for some draft picks, but hard to get impact draft picks at this point. I guess the major question is Kevin Durant going to be a Sun next year? You figure teams that would have their hand up for KD.
Yeah, listen, the interest is going to be there. There's no question. Kevin Knox knocks down that triple. What return will you get? Is it going to be enough, if you were to go in that direction, that would allow you to compete in that Western Conference?
Extra pass to Lee. And Jackson Davis with a rebound. He's getting a good run in right now. Both of these teams play tomorrow. Here's Knox, little sidestep, nice move. Kevin Knox trying to, he had some star potential about him. It hasn't turned out that way. It's hard to believe he's in his 7th year now, Kevin Knox. Jackson Rowe defending. Iguodala can't hit. Maybe some of these guys to get some extra run. Great opportunity for some of these guys to get some extra run. Santos from
defensive player, but he has been locked in defensively, really has a good grasp of what they want to do. He's been terrific here tonight.
107-74. And Knox, Rowe the rebound, sets up Santos, another chance. Spencer, got it.
You can see the bench, obviously. They all love Spencer. They're up out of their seats after that triple.
They converted his two-way contract, GA, to a standard NBA deal. What a moment for Pat Spencer to be in the floor. Spencer knocks down his second three as Martin misses. Spencer the rebound. They push it. And Knox to the basket. Blocked by Martin. Job recovering.
This is an impressive race that from your memory bank when you come out with a performance like this.
Jackson Rowe at floor for Phoenix. Lauren Jabara, Warriors, as we mentioned when we hit the air, the window has been reopened. They're going to win 15 of their last 19 games, and they are having some fun doing it.
They definitely are, BA, and I had a really long conversation with Draymond Green this morning. He said, you know, we have 4 core values on this team, and one of them is joy, to play with joy. He said it's ironic that Jimmy was saying, yo, I need to get my joy back, and he found it here. But when you also have a leader, we've all found it. It's a really good group. I asked Draymond, have you tried that big face coffee, and he said, I also asked Brandon Pajemski if he's tried it. He goes, no, I heard that's expensive, still on a rookie deal.
And right on cue, those two are laughing and smiling. I tell you, GA, it's got to be, and you play with some guys like this, and you were one of those guys, but to play with Stephen Curry, as big of a star as there is in the game, to be his teammate, though, and the way he cheers for you, dances for you, celebrates with you with your success and his success every day. And we've covered Stephen Curry for all these years now. He always shows up ready to play, the same guy every day. Never see him in a bad mood to start a game.
Yeah, and it's such a great point you guys bring up, because as incredible as a talent that Steph Curry is, he's a great teammate. You know, that's one thing that everyone, just the court. You know, it's how you interact off, what you do. And when you're the best player and one of the leaders, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. And not everybody wants that responsibility. Steph embraces it, and you can see that joy and the love that they all have for one another.
Rowe fouled. He'll go to the free throw line.
Suns fouls on number 10, Damian Lee, his first personal.
Well, he was great tonight once again. 25 points in 26 minutes for Stephen Curry. 3-pointers, 300 in a season. And I'm sure that'll be look out for tomorrow night against San Antonio.
Yeah. Let's get the pleasure of voting for all of our postseason awards. And tell you, all NBA teams are going to be really interesting. A lot of deserving players.
Well, once we got past the All-Star break, you could really see the athletes playing with the passion to advance and win the competitive way to bring it to you here on TNT. It's going to be our last go-around on TNT this year, our last playoff run. That's a block, but recovered there by Jackson Davis. And the Warriors have gone up over 120 now.
The thing about this postseason, they can win it all, especially in that Western Conference.
Oh, goodness. And Davis destroying the rim, and Draymond Green first on his feet. Look at that. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, we're late in the game. These guys could easily just sit back and chill. They're all up celebrating their teammates right now. Man. Had a couple on the lobs from Curry earlier. Spencer. Oh, yeah.
They are just clowning right now.
Even the pack, he's sitting amongst the fans in the first row. Ryan Gillespie hits a bust in Milwaukee tonight. All those teams in the middle of the pack in the West. Memphis beat Charlotte. Clippers playing San Antonio. Well, we had an overtime thriller.
Wasn't even close. Wasn't close, buddy.
Boston beat the Knicks here, 39 points. And that was just the other day against Houston. Houston scored 148 in that game as Monte Morris. We'll be back on the air Tuesday for the play-in after our doubleheader Thursday as we're up
for the New York Knicks and their fan base. My first game is to get a hard foul. Fans boo you. And it was shocking. So to go from that to where you're down 40. When you're
Chester
from
Poland.
That's impressive.
And he loves the NBA. The translating apps on his phone.
Yeah.
TNT postgame show presented by Kia. And a lot to make it a coaching change.
So they said, Brock said there is no direct translation in Polish for Chester.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm shocked by that.
Well, thanks for that, Greg.
No, don't thank me, thank Brock. Or Chat GPT, I got them all, whatever one you need.
GA's playing hurt tonight. He blew his Achilles. He's got the boot on.
Oh, man.
No problem. That's what you get.
Man.
That's what
Golf game, just, man, my club's at home right now in the garage.
collected dust.
Give him
one last shot for the Warriors.
It's like my first girlfriend in high school.
Oh, really?
Man, I'm going to just leave it at that.
Oh, no. You made it this whole way.